What's up, fellas and felinas?
So, we're back with Terranigma. So last time we got dropped into this world that is desolate of life.
How's it going, Lynn Store? How's it going, Alex Swingle?
Jod.
How's it going, Jod?
Come here. Jod. Come here. I waited for you.
Oh my god, it's Oracle of Ages? The one where it's a big, tree?
Yeah, I think so. So it's about to restart the game.
Okay.
So, off screen, I didn't grind much. You can see I only spent like 7 minutes grinding, but that's 7 minutes I don't have to do on the screen. Because, I think I said this last part, but one of the drawbacks to this game is that since it's an RPG, it does rely on stats a lot, and if you're underleveled for some things, it can be pretty rough. Especially later levels, you start getting more stats compared to, like, if you get a level up from, like, 4 to 5, it's like, it increases 1, like, strength by 1. But then level ups from, like, 20 to 21, it would increase strength by 3. So it's a problem that gets worse and worse.
Gotcha. I guess the interesting...
I don't think this game, you can do it completely damageless, but it's one of those things that is hard to do.
Yeah, unlike Soul Blazer, which is a little more...
Getting used to this TV.
is a little more, what you would call it, like, you can go to any stage whenever you want. Like, you can go back whenever you want. This doesn't seem to be as much like that, or maybe I'm wrong?
This game is pretty linear. You can, when you get to a new world, you can just grind over and over, but it's a pretty linear thing.
For those of you who are joining us from last time, we retired the Sanyo, and now Emerson is our TV now.
Yeah, this TV is definitely better. It's just, gotta get used to it. Playing in 16:9 is not fun.
Yeah, I need to get a remote for it. We just literally never had one. I bought this off of a customer who was like selling a PS4 and then was like, "Do you buy TVs?" And I was like, "What size?" And it's like, I don't know what it is, like a normal,
It's like a
47 or something.
45 or 50,
yeah.
It seems like.
And I was like, sure. And at that point, it was my best TV, because I'm just like that. The only thing I spend a lot of money on is fast food over the course of the year, once in a while for Pats tickets, and rare Sega Saturn games. Not a big deal.
And you don't have to do that anymore.
And I don't, so I don't know what to blow funds on.
Well, I'm sure that Ferris and Luna are going to be money sinks soon.
Oh, they already are. They eat so much food.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
even more.
Oh, for a second I was like, what was that? But that was just you going in your,
Oh, yeah.
in your thing. Because it's been IRL, 3 weeks since we've done this?
Yeah. Half my fault, half, doing 2 games at once is fun, but also at the same time you just, like, pick it up and you're like, oh yeah, this game.
That's why I can't do it. If I start a long game, I gotta continue it. Which is why I've really enjoyed our Let's Tries recently, because I'm just like, I don't even have to beat the first level.
Yeah, no commitment whatsoever.
No commitment. I don't even have to beat the first level. I can just make fun of the fact that it's Psygnosis. Although, to be fair, I did practice Nightmare on Elm Street, Tiny Toons 2, and Bram Stoker's Dracula pretty good.
Dude, recently just today on eBay, I bought a game called Crazy Ivan, made by Psygnosis, 1995 PS1 game.
Never heard of it. Wow, 95, first year, I think. Or no, it was PS4 94.
It was 95, yeah.
Okay, good. That's right, Base Saturn was 94.
I also bought Jumping Flash, another long box game. First-person platformer game, released in 1995 for the PS1. I can't wait to play that game.
Literally...
It's probably going to actually give me motion sickness, and I never get motion sickness.
I was going to say, literally just throwing up simulator. Sounds good! PS1 is... I think the more we find out about PS1, the more we're like, it's the best system ever. Because, like, SNES...
Dude, it's like the NES, but all the games aren't the exact same. Come on. What is going on?
Once in a while with SNES, I find a game I haven't heard about. And I'm not talking about something that never came over to America. You know? You can jump, or does it automatically do it when you go to the...
Oh yeah, you manually jump in this game.
Okay, so once in a while, like I said for SNES, I'll be like, what's this game? Like, once in a while, right? But with PS1, it's like every week at the store, we get something traded in, and I'm like, what is this? It doesn't mean it's expensive or whatever, but it's just like, what is this game? And that's why we started doing Let's Tries, you know?
Yeah, there's so many interesting games.
PS2, yeah, but like, to a point.
The most interesting systems to me is PS1, Game Boy, and Genesis.
I can see that.
It's like my favorite system's the Super Nintendo, but like, I'm so familiar with the Super Nintendo library, it's like, there's not many games that surprise me anymore. It's mostly like, yeah, I know all the good games, and... Oh, by the way, this game, look at this, literally Link to the Past swimming. It's exactly the same.
So, yeah, Game Boy, I think, the funny thing about Game Boy, for anyone who's ever been in a game store or worked at one, is you see the same 30 games all the time. Mario, Alleyway, Gator's Revenge, Tetris. But there's so many out there that you just don't see. And that's why we started doing Game Boy Theater.
Yeah, even in America, there has to be like close to 1,000 unique games. Hundreds at least.
At least 500, I would say. But it's funny, you see the same ones over and over again. You see a lot of the original run ones. Solar Striker and Alleyway and all those. Monopoly and Tetris and all that. But yeah, there's just so many. But yeah, PS1 is by far the craziest. I will say, despite the fact that now, I forget when I finished, but 4 months ago, finished Saturn, there's still probably, if you were like, hey, there's this Saturn game, I'd be like, no, there's not. And then I'd go over and look there and be like, oh, okay. Because it is one of those weird, like a lot of the games, obviously, I haven't even played yet. So, it's like, no, there's not Tunnel B1 for the Saturn. It's like, yes, there is. Ha!
So the interesting thing about this dungeon is you can actually enter the boss room on the first floor, but if you enter the boss room, I'll show it off, because there's no repercussions to it, he'll immediately knock you out with poison, so you have to do all of that. We got the leaf flippers from Link to the Past to actually swim, and then we got the poison resistant thing from that thing. And even though this is like, I would say this is like the first official boss, like the Scorpion is pretty easy. This boss is no pushover. It is hard. The good thing about Terranigma is that dying... Okay, another thing about Terranigma is that status ailments are very, very bad. Poison, as far as I'm aware, because it kills you so fast, pretty much never wears off. And even at like higher levels, because the poison will just scale damage, will kill you in about like a minute.
Oof.
So you need to have poison cures all the time. What was I saying before?
About the game being hard.
Yeah. Oh, one good thing about Terranigma is that dying does not have a lot of repercussions. You'll respawn at the last save spot you were at, but you keep all your experience and stuff.
Oh.
And all your money, so that's quite nice.
It's pretty dope.
Alright, so I'll just show this off real quick. So if you enter this, I didn't drink it, but if you go into this boss room... Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Although what that says, you don't get poison or anything, so that's pretty nice.
You don't actually get poisoned, yeah. And that's a one-time use thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't, like, make you permanently resistant to poison. It's just this poison. And, this boss is scary.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, so the first part of this is, there's these, effectively that middle, like, centipede thing is invulnerable to damage. So you hit the red things, but then in the second portion of it gets a lot harder.
Wow.
Yeah, and even though I grinded 2 levels, I'm definitely still under-leveled. I do have 1,000 gold, which is very nice. So I can buy just more healing if I really need it. Alright, I think the second portion is starting. So this second portion is pretty weird. You have to attack it when its eyes open only, but sometimes it'll like fake you out, and you try to attack it and it closes real quick, and then it spawns like a bunch of little parasites.
So that's why you hold back a little bit?
Yeah. But a lot of times, like, even when I try to attack it, I don't understand this boss. It's just...
Well, also, sometimes you take 2 and sometimes you take 8. Seems like a pretty huge difference.
I think it's 2 or 3. I don't know if it's artifacting or not.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, this boss has a lot of defense, but I don't think it has as much HP as the first part, for sure.
Double hit. Oh, you're right, it is a 3.
So if you're good at this game, I bet speedrunners just equip healing, and then you can use it by pushing X. But I like going into the menu so I can, like, collect my thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because this game, like I said last part, is, like, not like Secret of Mana, where it's, like, it is real-time, but it's also sort of turn-based. This one's just fully real-time.
So the part where he comes out the whole way, do you have to hit him when he's like that? Like, is that like the final blow kind of thing?
No.
Okay.
I think he's actually vulnerable when he's out.
Oh,
and about,
okay.
For whatever reason. And you can kind of see how much life he has by how fast the Scorpion's going. Centipede. Nice.
Ooh. Wow, they really want you to grind in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doing a good job either. It's hard for me to judge left or right distances. Because I'm a big baby. I want to play in 4x3.
Dang, Emerson. I will, after we're done recording, I will order a universal remote that my kids will lose. But at least
put that in a lockbox, dude.
Yeah, seriously. You want to use it? Oh my god.
Yeah, if I was like 1 level higher, I bet it'd be taking like 5 damage per hit. Got a level up. That's cool.
Oh wow, you get experience from just. Oh, I guess those things give you a little bit.
Defense up 2. That's very nice. Come on, this guy is being so mean to me.
How do you tell how many of those you have?
It says M-Bulb 2.
Oh, gotcha.
You can carry up to 9 of each item.
You might get the elusive 5. Six.
Yeah, I probably should grind a little more level off screen, but oh well. Proves that he's invulnerable.
I will say for the first boss, man.
Yeah, this is actually probably one of the hardest bosses, in my opinion, with like how much like stats you have and like how familiar you are with the game. Because later on you have like magic and stuff that you can use, so I think at this point it's probably one of the harder bosses. And he is just giving me the crappiest patterns.
This is probably a huge reset point for any sort of runner.
Come on. Thank God for invincibility things. Finally! parasite. Jod.
I have waited long for this moment. Plants changed into monsters should regain their forms. Green will soon carpet the world. But remember this. It is still too early for the world to be resurrected. You must lead the growth of living things.
Kino.
Ooh.
The miracle of life.
The world you were in, the reason it had no life was because of that parasite?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you could just say that tree is like the world tree. Because that's a very common JRPG trope. Oh,
yeah,
it's spreading its seeds.
Dandelions? I don't know. I don't know if I'm into that. As someone who has a lawn, not a big fan of dandelions.
Well, dandelions are pretty much the perfect specimen for spreading life, because they literally will never be extinct ever.
Yep.
Oh.
Man, these graphs.
Yeah, this game was released very late, 95 in Japan, so it's like... It's just one of those games that really just... I forget who made this. I said it last part. Tritech or something. They clearly knew how to work with the Super Nintendo at this point.
Yeah. Jod. You did it. Jod. I need you to come with me. I need you to wear this bolo tie.
That's Dilbert.
Every time I see a bolo tie, I'm like, I want a bolo tie. I don't want to wear it. I just want a bolo tie.
New weapons, new armor.
Probably the best reason to play RPGs is just to be like, new items.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, I bought the wrong thing.
RIP!
I'm just gonna go with the loose suit. I don't remember this next part being that hard. Alright.
Because after all, folks, it's about the journey and not the destination. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying.
Nah, I mean.
I forget if I actually have to talk to anyone. I don't think there's anyone to talk to. I can talk to plants. I don't think there's any reason.
What do the plants say? I'm a plant.
I'm a plant.
Are there battles on the world map?
No.
So epic. It's like what Zelda 2 should have done. Not have battles on the world map.
It'd be weird if it was just like random battles on the world map. It would like just spawn you into some generic place.
Well, it'd be like, remember Super Ninja Boy? It'd be like that. For Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah. Oh, I do have to talk to the raw tree.
Haha.
RIP.
Literally 0 out of 10 playthrough. Would not watch even once.
F.
You're at Bezos Rama. Amazon.
I literally just talking to Trey. Jod, I'm the origin of all plants in Ra.
Deep underground, I sensed and awaited long for your arrival. Living things on the surface are locked in sleep the way we were. Jod, you must roam this world, hear the voices of living things. This path you must now take will be marked by plants. I have a small gift. Summon me with it if you require healing. Jod obtained Grass Pin!
Yeah, so that's a full heal. Magic's a little weird in this game in the fact that it's basically one-time use and you have to go to magic shops to, like, buy it again. So it's definitely something to use in a pinch, so I don't use magic a whole ton. Later on, it is nice because this game gets harder, but It's not super necessary.
So this keeps following. It follows the general thing of Soul Blazer.
Yep.
Where it's like you will rebuild the world as you go. Except for this is more epic.
Yeah, Soul Blazer I feel as if it's like rebuilding like human civilizations, like different towns and stuff.
Yeah.
But this one's literally about the rebirth of an entire world.
This is my favorite music and sound effects. The joke is there was none. That's the joke. It should have loaded by now, huh?
Yep.
Did you save? Probably not. Dang it. Does it normally have sound there?
I think it's supposed to. What happened?
Dang it!
Teleport.
Hey, so guess what? There was music in this part. Remember when I was like, I like the music because there's no sound.
Like, there was literally even no sound effect. I should have noticed that, like, right away. But I don't know why, but the Super Nintendo just, like, didn't read the cartridge right, but it was still working, kind of.
So,
but I had to redo the entire tree and fight the boss, so we did that off screen.
Is it in Colorado? Is it in Sanctuary? Not E? 0 out of 10.
This is just yeah, a lot of places in this world are literally named after, like, places in Earth.
Interesting.
What does this guy have to say? It is a sad thing, job.
I can hear them.
We have to resurrect the birds.
So let's do it. Let's get them dumb birds.
Yeah, now that we have revived the plants, we have to revive the animal kingdom, and we're starting with the birds.
Question of the part for everyone out there, because this will, I don't know, maybe be part of the start of the next part.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see how long the other thing was. Anyway, question of the part. Why are bees so cool and so important to this world? It's because they are. Like, you know, like, if you, like, look up, like...
I mean, they, like, pollinate, like, plants, like, make life happen.
Look up what would happen if there were no bees.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's YouTube videos on that. And it would not been, not been very good, amigo. Also, who here is part of the club that doesn't kill any insects ever?
I don't kill spiders, because spiders kill other insects, but other things, like if I see, like, all those creepy millipede things, whatever they're called.
I walk them all outside, because I figure then at least the spiders can eat them outside. Well, was that RNG?
No, but I think it's a chest that I never really bothered getting, but these are, like, permanent stat-ups.
Heck yeah.
And life up increases my life by 5. No reason to hoard them, ever.
Question of the part 2. What is your favorite animal? Just any animal. Can be an insect, reptile. I don't care if that doesn't count as an animal. What's your favorite living organism that's not a plant?
I think snakes are cool.
See, I don't like snakes. I don't know.
They're kind of spooky, but they're also cool.
I'm gonna go ahead and say...
I don't know if that's my actual answer, but I like snakes.
Yeah, it's just the answer in general was, I think snakes are cool. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna go big or go home and say blue whales, because they're the biggest animal, and...
You know, the first thought in my mind wasn't blue whale, it was killer whale, because I like how they look.
Yeah, but they're actually mean.
Yeah.
At least pick a whale shark, because they're, like...
Hammerheads look
nice.
funny. They have big old, like, wide eyes.
How about, any deep-sea animal that, like, hasn't ever had to evolve, like, eyes or any sort of bones or anything? How about those? Like, the gelatinous blobs.
Yeah, I love the really deep sea. It's crazy to me that, science has evolved to, like, knowing everything, like, even, like, theorizing about, like, a lot of really complex things about space, but we, like, cannot observe, like, the super deep sea of Earth, and I think that's super interesting to me.
It is very interesting. Also, I'm not dating us at all on this video when I say Avatar 2 is not out yet. You could watch this 10 years from now, and I'm gonna bet Avatar 2 is not out yet. If you're watching this in the future, in the year 3000, and Avatar 2 is out, comment below. But, I'm gonna guess it's not out.
Yeah, I mean, all the production issues that people are having are still continuing in 2021, and James Cameron is an insane person.
There was I was watching this video on an underwater horror film he did called like The Deep or something like that. It came out before Titanic. Anyway, like he was like so insane during that like everyone just hated him, like all the actors and stuff, and like a lot of them because they were like I guess what they did was they got this like huge quarry and just filled it with like, you know, water, and they could only, for whatever reason, like it's kind of like the episode of Simpsons where Homer got a pool. It's like almost that exact same thing happened, where they started filming and then they were like, uh-oh, there's algae everywhere, and they were like, well, let's just put chlorine in, and then all the actors were like, my eyes really hurt all the time. And they were like...
oh, yeah, that episode.
They were like, dang it. And then they were like, something else happened, I forget, where they could only film at night. And then all the actors were like, I literally hate you. Like, they like all had to be up at like 2 a.m. to film. And they're like, I hate you. And also, he was such a... Well, he is still such a perfectionist, but he was such a perfectionist, so they're just like floating there in ice-cold water. And it's like, do it again. Do it again, do it again, do it again. And they're like, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill you. And also there was this one time where James Cameron was underneath, like, scouting something. And the water wasn't super deep, but I'm guessing it was like 30, 40, 50 feet, something like that. Maybe a little more. And his equipment started to malfunction. And he radioed back up. But literally, and I'm not joking on this, the person who was in charge of like watching or listening for the radio was an experienced diver who had 2 punctured eardrums, so he couldn't really hear much. And then he like started like tugging on the rope or whatever, and the person in charge of that wasn't paying attention. So obviously he survived, but he like barely made it up. And then he immediately fired those 2 people, which I'm not going to disagree with. And then he kept filming that night, because he's insane.
You piece of crap, mud monster.
Paste! So yeah, look, it might be called The Abyss, now that I think about it. The Abyss, I think that's what it's called. But look up Abyss production issues, and you can have fun with that.
Yeah, any director that is a perfectionist and makes you redo a billion takes until you're just... You hate them.
I'd say... If it was like... If I was a Marvel actor nowadays, and I was just in a comfy studio at all times, I'd be like, I don't care how many times we redo this, right? But if you're like on set in a cold place, or like you're doing Star Wars and you're on Tatooine, which is like some desert, I'd be like, my god. Like, Trev, you probably know this, but you ever see Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the scene where Indiana Jones is in a bazaar? I think that's how they're pronounced. Maybe bazaar.
I think it's just bazaar. I don't know.
And he's just there, and all of a sudden this guy shows up and starts swinging his sword, and he's like doing all these crazy sword moves, and then Indy just pulls out his gun and just shoots him.
Yeah, that's such a good scene.
Do you know why that happened?
Was it literally Harrison Ford being base cranky old man?
So literally, he was supposed to have this like really, really complex like fight scene with him. And Harrison Ford, I forget where they filmed it, somewhere in the Middle East where it's hot as hell and there's just disease everywhere. He had like ridiculous stomach stuff and diarrhea and stuff, and he was like, I'm literally not doing that. And he just shot him in the thing, and they're like,
dude, Harrison Ford is like, there's one interview they did about Star Wars. Oh god, where am I going? I hope I'm not lost.
I think you already went in there. Rip.
Yeah, but I think I have to go somewhere up there.
Oh.
I just fell down too soon. He did an interview about Star Wars, and like the interviewer asked him about, do you think your Force Ghost of Han Solo is gonna show up? And he's like, what the F is a Force Ghost? I have no idea what that
is. That's so based. I never saw episode 9, but I hope it didn't. I hope his Force Ghost didn't show up. Oh man, I love stuff like that.
Oh, it's literally this thing. Alright, so there's some items that you get, just like the flippers that permanently add to your moveset, so it's cool. And I can climb on these.
Alright, I have one last one, because I've been watching a lot of stuff on this stuff recently.
Yeah, Titan's Machine.
The movie Apocalypse Now, which I told Trevor to watch, it's a Vietnam movie. So, first of all, the first thing I have to say about that is, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate boy.
The best meme.
But, yeah, it's probably one of the best war movies, along with Saving Private Ryan. And there were so many production issues with it. It was unbelievable. Like, Martin Sheen, the main actor, wasn't even supposed to be the main actor, but, like, I forget whoever was supposed to be it before. Like, they did, like, a bunch of shooting and stuff, and then he was just like, I literally can't, and just quit. And then they got Martin Sheen, who was, like, kind of, like, less known. The best part about that, there was, like, a million things, because it was filmed in the Philippines, I think. Somewhere south of us, in, like, Central America. South America area, and they literally had a civil war going on at the time. So, like, they were borrowing, like, a bunch of, like, military equipment to, like, film stuff, but, like, sometimes on certain days, they'd be like the Philippine army would be like, hey, we kind of need that chopper back for, like, war.
That's crazy.
So, that was a thing. But the best part always involves Marlon Brando, who, if you guys don't know who that is, it's the Godfather, which I'm sure everyone at least knows what he looks like, whereas if you've seen the movie. He used to be, like, a Hollywood heartthrob in the 50s and 60s, but after, like, Godfather and in the 70s, he, like, became, even more than Harrison Ford, the ultimate, like, I don't give a crap person. He was just like, I literally don't care about anything except for eating food and getting fat, and that was him. So he showed up. he showed up to this movie set where everything was already going wrong, right? And they already filmed a bunch of stuff. And he shows up immensely overweight, like at least 50, 70 pounds overweight. And they're like, I thought you were supposed to work out for this because you're like the big bad guy. You're like, essentially his part in the movie is like, he was an American Vietnam War guy, but he got, like, lost deep in the jungle, and then he, like, almost became, like, their leader because he left, and, like, he just goes insane and becomes, like, their new leader and stuff. And he shows up, super overweight, didn't bother to read the script, didn't bother to read the book that it was based off of, which is Heart of Darkness, didn't even bother to have someone else read the book and tell him about it, just didn't bother. It was just like, I'm here, show up. And because of that, because of how he looked and how he, like, didn't look, like, good at all, they filmed all of his scenes in darkness with the camera super close up to his face, which works because you're like, oh man, like, it like, he's, like, all sweaty and, like, he looks weird, but it works the way they do it because, like, you know.
Literally dropping craps on me.
Literally craps on you.
Oh, wow.
Wow!
What the heck?
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Like, there was no explosion sound effect. So, yeah, they had to film all this stuff super close up like that.
Dark Twins.
The end fight scene is, like, not as good as it probably should have been because he was just a fat middle-aged guy who was, like, not caring about anything in the world. And, it's still an amazing movie. I'm glad that they made it.
Egg.
Eggs of Steel? For PS1? Based.
Oh, America, USA.
It's like I'm literally playing Kirby Superstar Dynablade.
Oh, Kino. The birds are resurrected.
There was this thing this infographic I was looking at the other day where they were like, someone was like, why did they pick the bald eagle? It's the worst of all eagles. There are a billion others. And I'm like, shut up. Just shut up.
I think the bald eagle looks cool.
They're like, it's weak and it's a scavenger and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, shut up, Beavis. Not everything has to be, like, true to life, you friggin' Redditor.
Yeah, it's like, what other bird could you use?
Well, the California condor is much stronger. Dude, bruh, not everything is an anime top 10 tier list. Get off your...
Yeah, get out of here.
Get out of here. Friggin' pleb. Even people who aren't super into America are like, look at that bald eagle. Look at it. If you know of any other games or movies that went through crazy development hell and you think it would be interesting for us to hear, you can either type below just the name of it or tell us like some funny stories with that. Trev, you probably know this one. Do you know the one about Blade Trinity, the third Blade movie? It's a really short story.
I mean, I'm familiar with the first two Blade movies, but
So Wesley Snipes is like pretty insane as a human being.
Yeah, he literally thinks he's Blade.
So I don't know like how it all started, but Patton Oswalt is in the third one, Trinity, and they were interviewing him about like how Wesley Snipes was it, and he was awful, of course. He thought he was Blade, and he would like not record stuff with other people, and people had to call him Blade. But the best part was there was a scene where Blade was... All he had to do was he was on the ground, and he had to open his eyes. That's all he had to do. The literal scene was just like, he was like knocked out, and he opens his eyes. And you know what he did? He didn't open his eyes. And I remember reading it, and the interviewer's like, he didn't open his eyes? And Patton Oswalt's response was, he just didn't. And if you watch it, and you can look this up right now, look up Blade Trinity eyes. They had to, like, and this is early 2000s, they had to, like, superimpose, like, 3D eyes on him that are opening, and that is dead serious. That is 100% serious. He just wouldn't open his eyes for the scene. They were like, hey, Blade, will you please open your eyes for this scene? And he just wouldn't. Can you imagine? The director was probably like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, literally, like, I just...
Why was he so weird about his eyes?
I guess he was
like, Blade, you can't see Blade's eyes.
Maybe it might have also just been him like being like, I don't want to do anything, you know. The contract says I have to be in the scene, but I don't have to do, you know, what you tell me. I don't know.
I'll just stand here and do nothing.
So he literally just wouldn't open his eyes, and that's the end of that story. I just can't imagine, like, all you have to do in that scene is just lay there and just go like, huh? You know, that's it. That's all. But you didn't do it.
And it's so crazy because, obviously, disobeying the director and just refusing to do it is way more annoying than just doing it. So, like, he was just committed to refusing directions.
He probably sat, like, if I had to guess, the director would probably be like, take 50. He started opening his eyes. Take 51. Okay, alright. Because, like... It cost how much more money in early 2000s CGI to, like, put freaking eyes over it. Like, it's not, like, a thing nowadays that you can really easily do any art student or any graphic student, you know? So, yeah, that's it. That's, I remember that one, and the gif of it is freaking the best ever. Because if you look at it, you'd be like, what is going on? And then you hear the story, you're like, yeah, actually, that makes a ton of sense.
Alright, so we roused the elder bird or some sort of like elemental to activate the winds again so birds can migrate.
Neat. In Colorado.
So one of these birds takes me to nowhere. I think Safarium is where I'm supposed to go. I'm pretty sure. The other one, I would show it off, but showing that stupid animation of through the world map takes forever.
Yeah.
But he takes you to like an island with nothing on it.
Sweet. Oh, and circling back to Avatar 2, they, like, apparently had to create a whole new style of, like, filming. Like, I don't understand the technology involved, but because it's, like, all underwater, they couldn't just be like, it's underwater.
I can't wait for Avatar 2 to come out and, like, it to either be, or both, not a good movie and also a box office flop.
I mean,
who cares about Avatar?
I watched Avatar 1.
It came out a decade ago.
Not in theaters. I watched it like a year ago, and I really disliked it. Like, it was just boring, in my opinion. Now, I wasn't part of the hype 10 years ago, and I didn't see it in 3D when 3D was a meme and all that. And maybe this, like, underwater thing will be, like, the new meme, you know? Like, maybe, I don't know. But I don't get it. I will say, the whole movie, I'm going to sit there and go, look at these water graphics. It'll be like the Wii U verse, or whatever it was called.
I sure hope the movie's good. I don't know what sort of budget it has, but it has to be, like, just so much because so long was put into production of this stupid movie.
Well, I was looking at the cast list, and I was like, thank God all the people in it are, like, relatively young. What if they had, like, Christopher Lee when he was, like, still alive, you know, and ancient, doing, like, the Hobbit movies, you know? He was, like, 95 years old or whatever, and it's like, oh, yeah, we were filming Avatar 2, 3, and 4 at the same time, and then one of the characters, like, died in real life. It's like, better start over!
So, the place I'm at right now is called Zoo, or Zooey, or something. Z-U-E.
Yeah.
But this place is kind of confusing. There's rainfall altars that you have to activate to make rivers form so you can access other places. So if I get stuck, I'll just be at the end of the part.
Okay.
Regardless, if I finish this place, it'll be the end of the part.
Do you wanna cut the vid then, or is this not a very long thing regardless?
I don't even know how long we've been actually playing since we had to stop in the middle. But yeah, I'll just cut it now.
See you in a sec, boys and ghouls!
I'll start this first rain altar.
Yeah.
Actually, let's...
See you in a sec, boys and ghouls!